Good morning, welcome to my channel. We're at the 100-day project, day 13, and I thought just for fun and for relaxing purposes and for looking after yourself and keeping things simple, we might create some of these. As you know, that's where that scrap was. We're going to use that anyway. Create some of these. Guys, this is the most enjoyable project I've ever done. This is on tracing paper. These I did with my original watercolours. I like them, and like I say, just keeping things simple. I don't know where my black lead is. It was here. I did get it ready. When you cut them apart, but I wanted to draw on them. I don't know where it went. But anyway, doesn't matter. I'll use whatever I've got on my desk because that's what it's all about. Oh, here it is. So, these are the cheaper ones and they work. You know what I mean? They still work. And they look good and you can fade them out. But I thought, I'll show you, if you cut them into strips, they work. So no matter what watercolours you've got, they're going to work. So I've got it was here, a real cheap watercolour set that I've used time and time again. Then I've got the expensive watercolours, and look, you can see the difference in between that and that. There's some more, that's the more expensive watercolour sets. I've always been into watercolours. Here's some more of the cheaper version. But when you draw around them and cut them, they look divine, regardless of what watercolours you've got. They're fun. And look, this is relaxing. And if you want to relax, you can make these little strips in no time. But like I said, when you use an expensive brand, look at the difference. Look at them on tracing paper. But anyway, let's do some and relax. I've got metallics. I'll show you the ones I actually use. See, they're the more expensive compared to the cheaper version. But they work. They absolutely work. Because I like watercolours and I actually like mucking around with watercolours, I did get the expensive brand, and it's K-U-R-E, I think, T-A-K-E. And it's not that expensive, look, really. This one's about $76. You can find them on eBay. And then you've got the cheap brand, Studio. And I had a lot of fun with theirs. They still work. I like mixing my colours. But like I said, I absolutely like these. But what I found works for me, and I've watched watercolour artists through the years, they use an aluminium tin. This is not quite the original one that I've got, but that's all packed up. So I thought what we might do is play around with it, you know, and be creative and create on different paper, just have a little bit of fun. It's got to be light-hearted. I just want to chill out today. And like I said, let's create a little bit more of these. We'll keep my tin out. There's that one on tracing paper. So put it down here. It's out of my road. And I want to make sure I'm in the middle. And we will water these down a little bit because it's the way I like to do it. And we might start. I've got different types of papers here. Now, you would have seen a lot of artists, watercolour artists, do this. Or paint artist, anyone. I've got a mat here. I don't think we'll need it, but if we do, it's there. And I only use a 3 brush or a 6 brush, you know. That's the size numbers I use. We're going to start with vellum. That's what it is, isn't it? Vellum. So I'll bring out the vellum. And I've got tracing paper there, and I've got bond paper. So we might cut the bond paper and tracing paper. And we're only going to do little swatches, you know. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to look after ourselves and just chill out. Because, guys, some days you need to chill out and not stress and not worry about thinking whether you're creative enough or whatever. This is just photocopy paper. We'll cut a piece of that. We don't need a lot. You know, we don't need... I'm not going to be doing everything. Actually, I might use the mat. I just don't stress it out. I just play, you know. This is about playing and just having a bit of fun. Like I said, and using all sorts of paper. Because watercolour actually goes on anything. There you go. You got to remember, when you do watercolours, that it's going to take some time to dry. Now, I just get my brush. I'm going to use this brush because this is my favourite brush. You know how you have a favourite brush? And I might... And I just go like so. On my tray, I just mix colours. There's not enough water. And I might start, and I'll do circles. My brush is a little wet, but that doesn't matter. Wet it some more and fade it out. And this is why it takes so long to dry. Now, you'll notice the more I do the circles, the more faded it will get. I'm just going to go around that. And tomorrow, I might show you, and I might do a square. Oh, I'm not good at squares, but you know what? They don't have to be perfect. I'm going to do... see, I'm just not worrying. And then because I'm bored with that colour, because I truly am, I'll wet my brush and I might get a bit of this olivey colour, and I love it. So I'll mix it in. And I don't know what it is about these aluminium tins. Oh, but it's very, you can, I don't know. It seems to pop the colour off the page. Anyway, it's just fun. And, you know, this doesn't require thinking, guys. And if you notice, this is already drying. Now, if I want to just fade my colour a little bit out. But I get bored doing the same colour. I really do. I like... See, my brush is full of water, but I don't mind. This is not flat. Oops. And keep a piece of hand towel if you... See, I'm not perfect because you're going to come along later and draw around these. So this is bond paper, guys, and look, it took it well, and it's actually drying quick. And look, that's the back of it. So it doesn't go through. I really like these. So I'm going to put that aside. And we're going to use tissue paper. I love tissue paper. And now I'm bored, really bored with that colour. So I'm going to mix a bit of purple in that. I think it's purple. Yeah, it is. Because I'm bored. And I haven't loaded too much water. Love tissue paper. And I'm just making a square. My tissue paper is wrinkled, guys, but I like it, you know, because it's going to create texture. Now, a lot of you would have seen a lot of artists swatch their colours when they get them, you know, and it looks really cool. I'm going to put a bit of yellow, and I don't mind if I, what's the word called? Oh, that yellow's gorgeous. Oh, it's not yellow. I actually don't mind if, what's the word? That's going to go through because I can wipe that off. How cool is it on tissue paper? I'm bored with that colour, guys. So I'm going to wet my brush and go into the red. And see, I don't mind. But I like the aluminium because the moment I start mixing in an aluminium tin, my colours seem to pop, you know, the colours I get. Where in plastic, I don't see it as much. Now, I'm bored with that colour, so I'll wet my brush first. And I keep 2 tubs of water. I always have, you know, on my desk when I'm playing with these. A little board, so I'm going to blend that in. Bored. I get really bored with colours, guys. So I'm outrageous with my colours. So after seeing artists doing this, I come across a video with Rachel from Roxy Creations. She is the first one that I actually seen use this in her journals or started making these. And she made them in the 100-day project. That's how I got to see it. Because it really interested me that someone was doing crafting every day and I was watching all different artists. But anyway, today I was watching Tim Holtz, and he, I think, has released transparent swatches, which is very interesting. Now, if this works on tissue paper, guys, it's going to work on anything, isn't it? Look at that. So we'll put the tissue paper aside. I'm not worried that it's going to stain. Try and lay it on a flat surface if you can. I'm just going to move things around a little. Oops, not really a flat surface, but it'll do. Alrighty. Now we want to do it on photocopy paper, and I like doing it on writing. So I'm going to introduce another colour in the mix because I can. And this is the thing, guys. You play. Just play. And if you're bored with the colour, just wet the brush, go into the yellow and do a bit of a mix. And you might get a murky colour, but does it matter? I love these colours. And I'm a bit bored, so I'm going to get some. Oh, it's not enough. So I'll rinse it out. Like I said, I have 2, and it doesn't matter that I've introduced another colour, because all I'll do is rinse it out, go back to that colour, and because there's a bit of blue, it's going to dry. I'll just mix that in. I hope you can see. There you go. Just keep introducing colour. It's murky, but it doesn't dry murky, guys. It doesn't. So I'm going to mix it all in because I can. My brush is a bit overloaded, but anyway, it doesn't matter because these work. Then I'll go back in. There's a bit too much water there, and I might put it down here. Yeah. So don't muck around too much, you know, because you don't have to. I like that. It's pretty loaded. I'm going to put it there. Now, the next one I want to do is vellum. Who loves vellum? Love, love, love vellum. So I might rinse my brush out and see what I want to use. There's some really nice colours in here, and I'm going to start with this blue. My brush is a bit loaded, so I might just unload a bit. I'm not good at squares, but I do them. And I'm not going to do many because might go darker. because my brush is pretty loaded with water. Like I said, I don't bother. So I can use what's left over on there. I love the tracing paper, guys. I'm bored with that colour. So I'm going to mix me blue with a bit of what's on my aluminium plate. And do some more. Like, I don't stress things out, guys, because if I did, I won't be creative, you know. Well, it doesn't look creative, but it's amazing what you can actually do with these swatches. I'm going to go back to that little bit of blue, because I might come to a journal spot where I like that bit of strip. Use a bit more of this. So you don't need to overload when you're doing tracing paper, because you've got a lot on the aluminium tray. And if it dries up, because this does dry a lot quicker than the normal watercolours. Oh, I love that one. I love that in my tissue paper. We'll just put it on here. What else? I want to use just envelope, invoice, because we're keeping it simple. 200-year-old book page and music paper. And envelope. Your trash. So I don't know how much time I've been on. It's not even enough for press record. Oh, I did. We're 16 minutes into it, guys. So we're going to use envelope paper first. I'm going to start with the colour I got. My brush is getting a little bit. So I'm going to take a bit of green and mix it in with the red. And this is where I create colours, guys. I just mix in. I mix in whatever. I don't overthink it. It's not about overthinking. You know, you notice my favourites are squares, and they're not perfect. Really not perfect. We might do some circles. Circles are the easiest. Like, if you want to do circles, this is how easy it is with this brush. It's number 6. And I love just blending. See, as I was mixing that, I've added a bit of green. And when they dry, these dry amazingly different. So what I'll do in the next video, I will show you these. Are they gorgeous? See, I'm just... my aluminium tray. I love this aluminium tray. And like I said, it was a watercolour artist I seen, because I've always dabbled in watercolours. So you've just really learnt today, you can dabble with watercolour on anything. Tracing paper. Not tracing paper, because we haven't done tracing paper yet, but we're gonna. I just love it. These are all browns. And, you know, one day I might need browns. And see, I haven't touched the water. I'm just using what's on the palette. But we want to change. And, ooh, I meant to mix it in here. Always mix it in. So I didn't mix it in the aluminium bowl, and that's what I normally do. See, my water brush is loaded with water right up there. Oh, I like that. And I'm making these close together because sometimes I like to add these together. So like I said, Tim Holtz has actually produced these swatches. But here's a transparent. And I'm pretty certain this will work on transparent. This is the matte I use. It's transparent. No, it's not. It's not, doesn't absorb. You need something that's going to absorb a little bit of the colour. And we've already used tracing paper and it did absorb that. This is over 100-year-old paper, guys. I'm going to add a bit of yellow to this mix. And I like that because look. And I've done a row. Now I want to charge it up. I want to add a bit of blue to it. And I'm going to do a row of them. It's so much fun. You are just sitting here basically doodling. And especially, you know, if you've got a mind where you can't craft, you know, because you're a bit lost, this is the time to pick these up. If you're going through trauma. Now, guys, I've gone through trauma. I don't want to say what trauma it is, but I went through trauma for nearly a year. And it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. I found myself in a situation that no woman of 63 should find herself in. But it did happen to me, and it lasted for 12 months. But I'm okay. You know, I lived through it and everything. Do you know what the saving grace of it is? Is this watercolouring tray is what can save your life. We're going to add something else to it. We're going to add a bit of black. Was that black? I think that's green. Oh, it is. I have got black. I think it's that one. Alrighty. I'm not going to touch the number because I want to see it. And we're going to spread out the colour. So you see, I've just used the whole time one area of my tray. One area, because that's all you need to do. Mix it in. And that's how I get my creative colours. And I love them. And I also do big patches like I did, I think I showed you, you know, like some days that's all I feel like doing is creating bigger patches. Oh, I like that. Oops. Just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And we're going to have a look at these when they're dry. And like I said, we just kept it simple. I'm just seeing if I can, because I'm sitting down, guys. I'm sitting down. I normally forget that I need to sit down and relax when I craft. But when I'm filming, it is a little bit hard. We're going to add that colour to there, and then we're going to mix it all in. And I mix a bit of the red. It's down there. I like it. Pardon me. So get your watercolour trays out. Doesn't matter if you haven't got this one. Because, guys, it's going to work for you. Whichever one you've got, it's going to work. I just happen to like this colour tray because, I don't know, it just seems, these colours just seem to pop. I'm going to make it all murky. And I'm going to put it over that one. I might do some squares again, eh? Or bigger squares. I like them, I like them. And just remember, you're going to be cutting these up. In some instances, you won't be cutting them up. What else can we do? That's vellum. We did it on tracing paper before. Now we do it on vellum. We do squares. Yay for squares. And I'm just putting, and I like these trays, guys. If you've got an aluminium tray, go for it because you're going to be blending from one area. And I'm telling you, you can't go wrong. The colours you get are amazing. Ooh, I love it. I'm going to go here. I'm going to add a colour to that. Right, in the water find what colour you want to introduce. I might introduce a white. There's a white, guys. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love white. And I love introducing it. Look at that. How quickly have I done these colours? Oh, I love that white. I'm going to mix it a bit darker. Like I said, you can make any colour you want. Oh, I'm going to do circles in this one. Circles, mix it in. Mix it in. See, I'm just basically time to introduce a colour. And normally don't forget to spray your tray, guys. Because spraying your tray is going to make a big difference in how soft your colours are. Mix it in. I want to introduce a colour, that green. And I don't mind mixing, because I haven't rinsed the brush right off. I don't mind that in that tray because honestly, it doesn't make a difference because I only use it for swatches. Oh, I do use it for making, isn't that cool? And look, this is what you'll find will happen. That your vellum will bend, but who cares? What else have I got here? Did I use music paper before? I think I did. We'll do a couple of more on printed bonded paper. Ooh, 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 ooh. So we done it on tracing paper, vellum. Oops. I'm only going to do a couple. And bonded paper. I love bonded paper, especially bonded paper that I've printed on, guys. There it is there. And I'm just going to dip my brush and start doing some circles. I want a little bit wet. I've got 2 trays because I'll probably do a few more. I don't know. I've got to go shopping today. And I want potent colour. Look at that. Now I'll mix that in. And I keep going. Mix some more. Mix a little bit more. Using the same spot. And like I said, I don't want to overthink. You know, this is not about overthinking. What colour is this? I think it's a blue. It is. I don't want to overthink, you know, when I'm doing this sort of crafts. And bonded paper is the stuff that I like printing invoices and stuff on from digitals. So there it is. There's the tissue paper. How cool is that? You've seen all the others. And then we'll come back tomorrow. So this is day 13 of the 100-day project. And we're just playing with watercolours on vellum, 200-year-old paper, 100-year-old paper, music paper, bond paper, envelope paper, tracing paper and vellum, and photocopy paper, and 120-year-old ledger paper. So, guys, I would like you to thank you all for liking and subscribing and watching my channel. I hope I didn't bore you too much. Go and chill out, relax, and do something like this. I assure you, your creativity, for those that have lost it, will come back. And not only that, if you're stressed and feeling depressed and whatever, get a pan of, get some watercolours, get an aluminium tin, get a paintbrush and watercolour. You will go into another place in your heart instead of that awful feeling that you're feeling in your head and soul. It gets you out of that place. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, liking and subscribing. Bye.